Start recording. Stop recording button.
I kind of wanted to start another video anyway. Hey guys, it's about to be named Beyond Sight here, and I am going to talk about my experience with iOS 6 and a few technical things. So if you like this video, go in ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button.
YouTube now. Just in town. Glasgow. Notification. More. Dismiss.
Oh, shut up, voiceover.
YouTube now. Just hit YouTube. Activate. Dismiss. Stop recording. Camera shoot back button. Stop recording button.
As I was saying, if you like this video, please be sure to hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to be updated on what I could upload next. Just a quick warning, if you don't like my channel, then just, I think you know what to do. But anyways, on with the video. And no, I did not say the like part to be mean. I just said it just in case if anyone doesn't really like my channel. That they can know. Anyways, on with the video. I'm not going to stay on this subject. I've already been through a whole bunch of stuff like this. Anyways, my experience with iOS 6 is, it was terrible when I did it. Back in 2019, when I used an iPod Touch 4th generation, it was terrible as heck. I couldn't even sign into YouTube. I could play a few games. I mean, I signed into YouTube on the website, but that's not the same thing as the app. By the way, for those who are wanting to get a 4th generation iPod Touch, the app that the App Store has is no longer supported as of 2015 and is completely unsupported as of 2019. It was in what's that word? Extended support, mind you. And right now I'm actually going to do, tomorrow I'm actually going to do a video on my experience with Chrome OS, and my experience with Windows XP, and my experience with watchOS, since I've had an Apple Watch for since I've been an Apple Watch user for 4 years. I've been an iOS user for, surprisingly, almost 6 years now. So I know my way around, I know my way around VoiceOver. So if you put me in a random spot, I'll find my way back to where I was. You kind of need to know the orientation of the screen and to know where the layout of the items are to actually find out what you're doing. So anyways, iOS 6, it was terrible. It was so terrible that there are only 2 voices to select from, like the Apple Watch now. But it had less storage. Mine did. It had like 8 gigs of storage, and I don't mind giving this out. It was a 4th generation iPod Touch. It was, I'm not sure if it was black or what, but I can't see colors, or I can only see light, but anyways, it had when I first got it, it had a sticker on the back, had a bag full of, it had a little bag with earbuds, and they were tied, so it was like they were brand new. They were, it's just I didn't like the smell, because it smelled like they were in a closet for like, I don't know, over 9 years. At that time, it was like almost 8 or 9. But even in 2015, when the YouTube app was about to be shut down completely, it was a very bad device. By that time, the 6th generation came out. the 5th generation was a year away from its end of support. And yeah, things are not looking good for the iPod Touch lineup. So the iPods that were supported as of, mainly technically, it was supported up until 2013, which was good, but even in 2014, even 4 years after its release, when iOS 8 came out, things were not good at all because of the fact that, apps were still supported, though they were just on extended support, basically. So, like, YouTube had extended support. Messenger had up to, man, I think it's me. Woo. Yeah, Messenger had, from the end of iOS 6's support, 6 years of extended support. Facebook still does, unfortunately. But I'm not sure about right now. Last time I checked, it did. When I last had it, I gave it away to someone. If you guys want to know, signing in with two-step verification is hard. You have to, number one, put your Apple ID in, put your password in, and then right after that, don't do a space, but put your 6-digit code in. My apologies. And no, I did not put it where you think I put it. Actually, if you think about it, iOS 6 was great for its time, but even when I used it, it was terrible. It was kind of still on extended support, but it was actually on life support, basically. The YouTube app was on life support from 2015 up until it officially got unsupported in 2019. But anyways, I'm not real sure what to think now. But anyways, if they come out with an 8th generation iPod Touch, it could have an 812 chip. And a bit of a redesign, hopefully. I wish it would. A little bit heavier. Like a little more, a little more, a little, I don't know, fleshed out. Like to have more internals, maybe not Touch ID, but, okay, so Touch ID has came back on an iPad with the power button. I'm beginning to wonder if the iPhone is going to have the same thing. But anyways, it's time to continue. So let's start from the top. So in 2010, about 11 years ago, Apple had the A4 chip set. You know what that means? The iPad, 1st generation, the iPhone 4, the iPod Touch, 4th generation, they all had the A4 chip. It was amazing. Nowadays, we don't have anything like that. You never see iPod Touch models have the same support. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. When it originally got released, the iPod Touch, I'm sorry to switch subjects, but the iPod Touch had originally gotten iPhone OS. Then it moved to iOS with iOS 4. Then iOS 5, and then 6, then 7, then 8, then 9, then 10, then 11, then 12, then 13, and now 14. It's gotten all of the major iOS updates. Now, not every single iPod was supported. You'd be lucky to get about 4 years out of your iPod Touch because it's the least, expensive iOS device. In fact, the base model that I got here is 7th generation. Yeah, that's right, 7th generation with the A10 chipset, and I'm surprised that they still supported the iPod Touch, a classic iOS device originally released in 2007. 14 years later, it's still relevant. I sure hope Tim Cook decides to make an 8th generation because it's cool. The 7th generation needs to move away from the classic design, with the home button and all that. Like, it could be a bit heavier, But I don't know, it's just me. Ah. But anyways, back to iOS 6. The devices using iOS 6 were very, and I mean very, it's kind of cool. When it originally got released, the iPod Touch, the 4th generation, it only got 3 years of support. From iOS 4 to iOS 6. The 3rd generation got from, if I remember correctly, I didn't have it, but I found it brand new one time. They were both in the 30s, them brand new. But, I mean, it was kind of weird. The 3rd generation had support up to 2012, when iOS 6 came out. It actually had support from, I believe, 2009 to 2012. So from iPhone OS 3 to iOS 5, actually. The 5th generation changed everything a little bit. It originally released with iOS 6 and ran up until iOS 9, which is still mind-blowing because of how it was the original one with the new style. iPods have only had two different styles. The first one from actually 2007 to 2013, 6 years, you would see the slanted back, the 20 from 2012 to the present. Actually, for about 12 years, actually, you would see the new design, which is like a almost like a box design, but with thinner, and not exactly a box. Really, it feels like a box on the top, but not really. It's more thinner and it's lighter than its competitor. I mean, predecessor, I believe. The predecessor to the iPod Touch 5 is the 4. The 4 was in a smaller body. It was in a, I don't know, it was probably metal, obviously. It was a little lighter than the iPhone, but it was a little thinner. It was a little thicker than the 5th generation. The 5th generation sported a loop that you can attach, like if it was one of those digital cameras. The 6th generation removed it and feels just like the 7th generation for those who are blind. Now, for those who are blind, wanting to get an iPod Touch 7 right now, it got unsupported in 2019. And yeah, some apps are still supported, I think. YouTube is, I know for sure, but not the most current, I don't think. Some apps can even support older iOS versions. In 2015, when the 6th generation came out, it was kind of, weird. It supported iOS 9 up until iOS 12. Almost iOS 13. It didn't even get iOS 13. What did was the 7th generation. It actually supported iOS 12 a little bit, from March up until September. Then it got the iOS 13 update. Then it's having iOS 14. Then iOS 15. Then probably iOS 16. Hopefully. I'm just making guesses here. Heck, there was a A10 chip in an iPad, 7th gen. The A10 is basically like I don't know, it's if you really want to know, I just start talking about this stuff. In a way, the iPod Touch 4th and 5th generation are still on their respective release things. They're still having the support. In a way, the 4th generation is, but by now, since it's 9 years, or actually 8 years out of support since 2013, came iOS 7, it was kind of weird. However, you can actually get iOS 7 on the iPod Touch 4. However, you can't have Wi-Fi, and it has the phone app. So what can you expect? Anyways, this is me. I'm getting out of here. I've talked long enough. See ya!